Hello student, let us start session 2 of statistics. Already I told you that we started book 2, that is part 2, and I selected the chapter probability. Introductory part of probability already we did, but since it was a new chapter, so we are going to revise some of the topics again and then we will see some new topics. So first of all, the name of the chapter is probability. So let us see the meaning of that probability. As I told you earlier, probability means those events which either can happen or cannot happen. If there is a chance of happening of the event, then we consider that in the form of a probability. For example, today it's a sunny day. Probably tomorrow it will be a cloudy day. See, I use the word probably. So in our day-to-day life, many times we are using this word probably. If you are going to do hard work, probably you will get a better marks than what you are going to get. So we are using this word probably or probability many times in our day-to-day life. But how it is going to fit in our studies, how it is going to fit in our statistics, let us see. First of all, definition of probability you will get after one exercise. First of all, as I told you earlier also, in a session 1, we are going to recollect some of the topics and then definition afterwards. Meaning of a probability is those event, those happening which got a chance of either happening or not happening, that is considered in this particular event. So first of all, meaning of a probability is there are many events whose chances, suppose if you are throwing a dice, so there is a chance of getting even number, there is a chance of getting odd number. For example, there are 6 outcomes. When you throw the dice, 1 can come, 2 can come, 3 can come, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 outcome. Even numbers outcome is 3, for example, 2, 4, 6. So chance of happening of an even number is 3. 3 means 2, 4, 6. Chance of getting odd number is again 3. 3 means 1, 2, 3. So such type of a event or happening we are going to deal in this particular topic. Definition afterwards. Now let us go through some of the topics which is required to solve the question related to a probability. First of all, introduction of probability. Okay, event which got a chance of happening. Meaning of probability already I told you. Now random experiment. What do you mean by random experiment? Those experiment or those event whose all the outcomes we know. But which outcome will come out, that you don't know until unless you are not performing that experiment. For example, withdrawing of a card from pack of card. You know that there are 52 cards in a pack of card. But suppose if I am asking you what you are going to get if you are drawing a one card, you don't know. It can be a heart, it can be diamond, it can be spade or a club. But we don't know which card is going to come out. So all the outcomes are known to us. But which card will come out, we don't know. That type of event comes under the heading of a random experiment. Random experiment means those events whose all the outcomes are known to us, but actual outcome you will come to know only when you will perform that particular event. So random experiment is slightly different from a science experiment. In science experiment, you know the outcome, and when you perform that experiment, the same outcome you are going to get. So there is little bit difference between the random experiment and science experiment. So in our this chapter, we are going to deal with this type of experiment where all the possible outcome will be known to us, but we don't know which outcome is going to come. For example, tossing of a dice. When you throw the dice, there is a possibility of getting either head or a tail, but you cannot predict what you are going to get in the beginning. that type of event comes under the heading of a random experiment. Now most important thing is sample space. Sample space, which is denoted by symbol S or U. Sample space is denoted by symbol S or U. All the possible outcome of a random experiment is called sample space. If I throw the example of a sample space is, if I throw the coin, we get head or tail. If you are tossing a coin twice, you may get 2 times head, 2 times tail, or tail or head or tail. 4 outcomes. So that comes under the heading of sample space. Sample points means the individual event is called sample points. Throughout this chapter, you should know how to make or get this sample space. For practice, we got a one complete exercise. In exercise, you are going to get a many questions where we are going to make a sample space. So first of all, the definition of sample space which is given in our textbook is the total number of outcome of any random experiment, remember, is called as a sample space, denoted by letter S or U. Tossing up a coin, throwing up a dice, you see in a tossing up a coin, either you will get head or a tail. If you are throwing the dice, you may get 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 or 6. These are the individual events. Now, there are 2 types of a sample space, as here we got, there are 2 types of a sample space. One is called, there are 2 types of sample space, one is called finite sample space. Now name itself tells you the meaning. Finite sample space means whose total number of outcomes are countable. Countable means you can count total number of outcomes. If you throw the dice twice, dice I am telling you, if you throw the dice twice, the total number of outcome can be 36. What type of outcome? 1 1, 1 2, 1 3, 1 4, 1 5, 1 6, then 2 1, 2 3, in that way 36 outcome. If I take out the card from a pack of card, I know total number of outcome can be 52. So you know the total number of outcome, and if it is countable, then it comes under the heading of a finite sample space. But there are certain event where you cannot count the total number of outcome, then it comes under the heading of infinite sample space. So there are 2 type of sample space. One is finite. In our textbook, in this chapter, we are going to deal with the finite sample space. Infinite sample space in a further studies. So infinite sample space whose total number of outcome we cannot count, we don't know total number. You cannot count the total number of outcome. One of the example given, you remember that example, it can be for 1 marks. One of the example which is given in your book is life period of any electric bulb. You cannot predict what is the life period of electric bulb. It can be 1 second also, it can be 1 hour also, it can be 1 minute also, it can be 1 year also, 10 years also. So this is called infinite sample space. Already in a first session we discussed about this, because this chapter is new to us, so we revise these all things. Now after doing this, to study about this probability, we require little bit knowledge of our mathematics also. In algebra, in the mathematics, in algebra, there is one chapter which you heard and which you studied in 9th standard, that is called set. Set theory is a chapter given in a 9th standard. In our textbook, they are not mentioning about this. They are suddenly using this topic, set theory. So first of all, let me tell you, as a math teacher, I am going to tell you something about the set theory. Then we will see where and how it is going to use in a probability. Now, meaning of a set. Collection of any elements, collection of any type of event is actually called as a set. For example, collection of coins, collection of leaders, collection of people, that comes under the heading of a set. Set means collection of articles. For example, I got 4 balls. So collection of 4 balls can be written in a curly bracket, and suppose 4 balls are green balls. So G1 one ball, G2 second ball, G3 third ball, G4 fourth ball. So this type of collection comes under the heading of a set. So what is set? Collection of any article, element. They are distinct from each other, they are not repeated, and it is mentioned in the curly bracket, then that is called set. The part of that set, the small part of that set, or one of the part, or two of the part, or three of the part of that set, that is called subset. Again, name tells you the meaning. Set is the bigger thing and subset is the smaller one. For example, if you are dealing with only one green ball or two green ball or both of them together, then it comes under the heading of a subset. Universal set is the biggest set which consider all the elements in our consideration. For example, best example of a universal set is if you are dealing with the number. So best example of a universal set is set of natural number. In set of natural number, you get all the positive numbers starting from 1 to infinity. So universal set is set which consists of all the elements which you deal during the solving of the problems. Usually it is denoted by letter U. That's why the sample space is denoted by U, because it is just like all the outcomes. So today onwards either U or S will be representing our total number of outcome, and it is actually called as a universal set under the heading of a set theory. There are a lot of theories in a set theory. So to make it more interesting, to make it easy to understand, one mathematician, John Venn, he represents these all things with the help of Venn diagram. In our textbook also, before first exercise, they have used a lot of Venn diagram to represent these all articles. So Venn diagram is a diagram by which we can express this whole concept. For example, if you want to represent a universal set, so how it can be represented? It can be represented by box, and you write at the corner U. You can write U inside also or outside also. If you want to represent any set which is present in a universal set, certainly, then you make a one circle or an oval shape and write A. A is actually a set which is present in a universal set. So this is introduction of set theory. It is not given in your book, assuming that you know this concept, but it was my duty to tell you. So it's like another revision part. Now actual probability starts when you know these all topics. So as soon as you know these topics, then we can solve the questions related to a probability. So come on, now actual chapter starts, and name of the first topic is events. Whom to call events? So in a probability, when you are doing any random experiment, then all the possible outcomes, in your book it is given that subset of any set is called event. For example, getting of a head, getting of a tail, getting of 2 times of head, getting of a 2 times of tail, these all are actually subset of a main event, and they are called as a event. In our book, they are representing event by letter capital A, B, or even in afterwards in a further chapter, capital E or capital F can be used to represent the event. Now after that event, there are some specific event also. For example, one of the type of event is certain event. Certain event means there is a guarantee of occurring of that event. Then it comes under the heading of a certain event. For example, if you are printing H on both the side of a coin, it can happen. Suppose the printing error is there and head is printed on both the side of a coin. Now you throw that coin, so whatever the way you throw that coin, you are always going to get head. So it's called as a certain event. Suppose in any box you are putting a green ball, and then you take out one of the ball from that box. So there is 100% chance that green ball only is going to come. Then that is called certain event. Usually it is denoted by S or U only, because all the outcome will be like the chance of happening. Now impossible event. Impossible event is that event which is not going to occur anyhow. For example, I got a box in which I put a 6 green ball and somebody is asking me to take out white ball from that box. Now it is not possible, then it is called as a impossible event. In our textbook, it is denoted by letter null set or phi. Phi is that alphabet, that is Greek alphabet, phi or null set, empty set. So that is called impossible event. Very rarely we are going to use while solving the question. Now difference of event or difference event. In your book they have mentioned it afterwards, but I picked up earlier. Difference event means if there are two events and if they are asking you to find the difference of event A from B. So all the outcome of A will come, but B is not going to come. It is mentioned by Venn diagram also. In a Venn diagram, U is our universal set, A and B are two events, and difference means A member will come, B member will not come, then it is called difference of event. One very important symbol is A intersection B dash. After one exercise, this symbol will be used frequently. A intersection B dash. Suddenly I am introducing a new symbol that I will be telling you afterwards. A intersection B dash or A minus B is the symbol for difference of event. Two new symbol already I introduced. Now I am going to tell you from where we got that symbol. So once more, certain event whose chance of happening is 100% sure, impossible event whose chance of happening is impossible 0, then difference of event, an event in which member of first event will be there, member of second event will not come, then it is called difference of event. Most important topic under this particular heading is complementary event. Complementary event means event of a sample space or universal set, but not of a given set, is called complementary event. This is the symbol A dash or A complement. In many books they use this symbol A to the power C. This is complementary event. A complementary event means we are going to deal with all the members of a sample space or universal set or universal that sample space, but not of A. It is also mentioned by Venn diagram. In a Venn diagram, rectangle box is for universal set, A is that set, then the remaining portion of this universal set is actually representing A dash. Some example in our day-to-day life is, suppose 60% chances for any student to pass. That is one of the event. Probability of passing of any student is 60%. And if I say that I want to know the complementary of this event, so complementary of this event will be 40%. 40% means that will be not passing of that student from any exam. So A dash means all the members of a sample space, but not of that event. We are going to use this complementary event in many topics in a coming exercise. Symbol, we are going to use this symbol A dash, but in some of the books they are using this symbol also. So be aware of. Now we are going to go through some more important topics. These are the fundamental topics. Now sixth one is intersection of events. The word itself tells you the meaning. Intersection means common. If there are two events A and B and both the events is non-empty, means they got some elements and they got a common elements, then we say that it's an intersection of event. Symbol is, which already I used earlier, this symbol. This is the symbol. This symbol is of intersection. A intersection B means we are talking about that event in which we got a common elements of A and B. How nicely it is shown in your book by Venn diagram. A and B are two set present in a universal set. The common area of A and B, this one represent A intersection B. Example can be, one of the example can be A is equal to 1, 2, 3, B is equal to 2, and if I say A intersection B, then we get only 2 as our answer. So that is the meaning of a intersection. Then union of event. Again, words tells you the meaning. When you combine two events, if there are two events A and B, and when you combine them, then it comes under the heading of union of events. Symbol for union of events is U. Now this U letter is different from universal set. In a universal set, we use a capital letter U. So just to distinguish, we write this type of U. How we are going to represent by Venn diagram? Again, universal set by box. A and B are two set, and A union B means member of A, member of B, and a common elements. If all comes together, then that event is actually called as a union of events. When two events are combined together, then it comes under the heading of a union of events. Now, eighth one is mutually exclusive events. Now go through the word exclusive. This is going to be used many times in this chapter. Exclusive means not including. If A intersection B is equal to null set, it means that they don't have any common element. If there is no common element in event A and B, then it is called mutually exclusive event, and by Venn diagram A, B are written separately. See, nothing is common. In a universal set U, A and B, they don't have anything common. Symbolically, if we represent it like this, A intersection B is equal to null set or empty set, then it is called mutually exclusive event. After mutually exclusive event, now let us see one more type of event, that is mutually exhaustive event. Here the word exhaustive will not tell you the meaning of that particular event. Be careful with the spelling. Exhaustive, E-X-H-A-U-S-T-I-V-E, exhaustive event. Here, if there are two events A and B, non-empty, and when you are finding its union, and if it gives you a total members of that sample space or universal set, then it is called exhaustive. If there are many events, A event, B event, C event, D event, if you are combining them and it gives you a total member of a sample space, then it comes under the heading of exhaustive events. So, by Venn diagram, if you are combining A, B, and if it gives a universal set, then it is called exhaustive event. Now combining that last two events means mutually exclusive event and mutually exhaustive event, we get a one more type of event, that is called mutually exclusive event and mutually exhaustive event. Together it is called mutually exclusive and exhaustive event. What are the properties of this type of event? Here there won't be any common in this two events, or if there are many events, they don't have anything in common. If A intersection B is equal to empty set, if A intersection B is equal to null set, and A union B is equal to universal set or a sample space, then it comes under the heading of a mutual exclusive and exhaustive events. These are the some types of event. One more types of, and that is the last one, is elementary event. If suppose there are many event, and if you are dealing with the individual event, then it comes under the heading of a elementary event. All outcomes individually, remember, are called as a elementary. Other word for elementary event is fundamental events. For example, if you are tossing a coin twice, come on, example is tossing of a coin twice. So what are the outcome? S stands for sample space. Outcomes are 2 times head, head or tail, tail or head, or 2 times of tail. Now individually when you deal with these all outcomes, for example, there is an event which consists of 2 times head, 2 times tail, tail or head or tail, that comes under the heading of elementary events. So today in this session 2, we saw just a fundamental things of probability, meaning of probabilities, and some of the topics of probability. Definition of probability will come after first exercise. So, now in session 3 we are going to solve questions of a exercise, the first exercise. So, thank you.